types of practices that allows you understand, what loopholes there are in your business from a security standpoint, and how you can prevent this going forward. As businesses change, you might have a merger and acquisition with another company. So that could lead to you not being familiar with what the requirements from the other business are. So these are some of the areas where our consultants can come in and understand your business goals, your business visions, and help you put the right security practices in place. I will give you as an example. At Graycon, we do have a service called Virtual CIO. A lot of organizations can benefit from having a CIO, but they don't necessarily want to make the investment of having a full-time CIO and pay for a full-time CIO salary. We have a group of IT managers and CIOs who have worked in the industry for 20, 25 years, and they're available to you at an ad hoc basis. We have organizations that leverage this service for as low as about 5 hours every quarter. And what a CIO can do for you, he will bring that expertise to your business and will consult with your C-level executives to make sure you're properly strategizing your business to meet the current and future IT requirements.
I only heard the beginning and the very, very last bit.
So you talked about there's a law that requires businesses to disclose any breaches. Can you give more information on that? Thank you.
If I get your business card, I'll actually send you that precise law, what the timeline is. I believe it's actually within 2 weeks, who has been breached and how they have dealt with it, what are the processes that you actually, so the law actually spells out what you have to do upon the breach of data. Pass me your business card and I'll certainly send you that study. The study was actually produced by one of the very, very large firms, so they're experts when it comes to it. Ourselves at Cloud Production, we also on staff have a US-based, cloud-based expert lawyer that can take you through any US-based issues. But for the Canadian ones, I have quite a few companies that have worked with legal teams in Canada. They'll share with you as well. I don't remember what it's called, but that's it. I'll email it to you. It's sitting somewhere in my inbox. I read those things religiously, anything when it comes to cloud.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any question?
What's the difference in the legal liability if you store data in the cloud versus your own server? Is there any difference?
Good question.
Legal liability goes as far as your insurance policy. So you can buy an insurance for both of them. So you can buy an insurance against your data being in the cloud, and it does get spelled out in your business insurance versus if the data is right here on premise as well. One thing that I will also talk about, if you are a data-driven company, if you are going through transition and somebody is about to purchase, and that was mentioned here on the panel as well, usually the valuation of the company is much higher if your data is properly secure, if it's properly documented, if it is in a better place. So even if you say, I have my own servers versus my data is on Amazon Cloud, right away the perception of the company is a lot higher if you are using a reputable service, if it's a reputable company that's taking you there. And I've seen valuations going from 4 times your whether it's EBITDA or your revenues, upwards to 10 times if you are within a proper company, within a proper cloud. So when it comes to liability, I look at it at twofold. One is what happens if something does get breached, who do you blame? First thing is whether it's in a public cloud or on-premise, you are responsible because it is your data. But the second thing is the second part of, let's say, the liability. If somebody was about to purchase your company, depending on where your data is, your valuation will change.
Any other questions?
What you're saying is that you have both cloud and server-based.
Nobody here would say that you have to have both. You have to have an option for both. So some vendors are cloud only. Some vendors are on-premise only. Having an option, so as your company is transitioning and growing, for example, if you have salespeople that used to be inside salespeople become outside salespeople, having your data in the cloud is a lot more convenient than on-premise. So it is depending on your company. There's no one single answer that says you have to be either 100% in the cloud, 100% on-premise, or some kind of a hybrid.
How do you know your security
But one of them.
Typically, how long after the breach do you find out?
The question is, I'll repeat the question. How do you know that your data has been breached? How long do you find out, and how do you find out?
I think the first thing to say on something like that would be is how is that data being used, right? So someone could take the data, and if they're not using it in any particular way, if they're not using it maliciously or just utilizing it in any such way, how would we know? Is definitely an important question. And I think some of my colleagues up here would have some redundancies in place for something like that. But it is, I think, one of the first points of contact is, do you see that information being used outside of your system?
Yeah, it all comes down to the type of business and the type of security practices you have in place. If you don't really have any proper security, it might take some time before you actually realize you've been breached, or you might not even realize that. Or if you do have certain security practices in place, you might find out right away after a few days. So it all varies on this scenario and what your infrastructure is like.
There are a few telltale signs. One of them, if your server has started to grind down to a halt, nothing is happening, meaning somebody is in your server, they're grabbing your data. So you can actually have alerts on something like that. Second way is if you receive an email that says, thank you for the renewal of your Ashley Madison website. Majority of the breaches in all the research that I have ever seen, most of the breaches start from within. So people are walking away with USB. That's one of it. That one of the most common ways somebody is walking away with a USB key. The second most popular one is called phishing emails. Somebody sends you an email that looks like it comes from a legitimate source. You click on it, and it takes you to a website, or it executes a program that now injects code within your computer that allows somebody to tunnel into it and use your computer as a terminal into the rest of the network. So most of them are, unfortunately, human mistakes when it comes to data breaches. So the question is, does it matter whether if it's a phishing email, whether your data is in cloud or if the data is locally? I would say data in the cloud, it is a lot harder to breach because they will put in actual authentication methods to see who is accessing, from what IP, if you want that type of security. They're going to authenticate you. They can throttle the amount of data that gets in and out. They're going to put in questions in line to make sure that by the time you get to the data, you are fully authenticated. Very similarly, if you are doing online banking or phone-based banking, people will question you whether you are the right guy or the wrong guy. When it comes to on-premise data, typically companies don't go to the length of protecting it as much as the cloud company would. And because of that, I believe that cloud is a lot more secure.
I mean, I just have a little website, and I randomly get NetBot attacked, and my server, stops. It's just a spinning thing. And I mean, a simple thing. I actually have a fake login. I think they call it a honeypot or something, where anybody who's trying to break into the website would use this login nomenclature. And the minute that happens, my little tiny server, my little tiny website knows that it's not me, and does not, and blocks them immediately. So if I can have that on my little website, which, my 10,000 hits a week or whatever, which is, which is, small, relatively, I can't even imagine what's available for big companies. But I'm really glad that we've had you guys here, and you definitely have taught me some stuff on this panel, so I really do appreciate that I will be taking forward. And this was our last panel today, and like I said, last but certainly not least, this is very topical. And before we stop, let's let Slava talk about his damn book one more time. And if everyone could just say how they can get in touch with you, and anything else where you are on the show.
I'm Slava Appel. AmazingPrint.com is my web-to-print company. CloudProduction.com is our consultancy when it comes to anything that has to do with cloud. Please visit CloudProduction.com. You can watch a 1-hour webinar that will talk about many different other issues that we could not cover today. And thank you, Deborah, for holding up the book. And yes, you can order it online as well.
I thought that was a phishing email that I got the other day for that book.
Don't use the word password as your password.
You can follow me on LinkedIn. We also have a fantastic marketing team that publishes a lot of great material on our website, on our LinkedIn page, on our Facebook page, graycon.com, GRAYCON. And by following us, we can make sure we have you attend some of our educational events in the future and familiarize you with some industry trends and show you how, as an organization, we can help you have best practice IT in your organization.
Of course, you can visit us at the show if you're here today. You can also visit us at our website and get in contact with us there. We're also on social media. We're very big right now on Twitter with our new campaign, the hashtag AskAvanti. So if you reach out to us on Twitter and ask us any type of question relating to MIS or security or cloud, anything that you'd have, one of our people in our marketing team will get back to you right away.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you, Canada, for inviting me to Graphics Canada, to your lovely city of Toronto, and to share some information with you. Thank you very much to Ethan Wald, who nobody can see. He's my indentured graphic communication student. He has been filming for us all throughout the show. He's been very handy to have around. I may even import him into America to help with Print 17. We'll see how these recordings turn out later on. But again, thanks everyone. Have a great day, rest of the show, and yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.